Hey guys, the Bungie weekly update is out, and let's get into it. First off, they promote the Edge magazine article. I highly suggest you go look at our video where we go over that in depth as well. A link to that will be in the description. Next up, Luke Smith goes into some of the ways that the weekly activities will change in the Taken King. Once you've completed the new story campaign, a whole new suite of in-game activities will beckon. That's where the strikes get even more challenging. Luke says, we've also looked at the programming strike playlist and made some changes there. Burn skulls motivate weapon rotation, and now the burn resist talents found on chest pieces will rotate armor. The death penalty of being kicked to orbit often leads to players feeling forced to play too safe, rather than running through the world as a monster-killing machine. Another thing we don't like about the Year 1 Nightfall was how players could feel forced to play Nightfall as early as possible in the week to maximize the benefit from the Nightfall buff, so we've shelved the buff until we can reform it into something closer to its original intent. We've adjusted sources of XP and reputation up to account for its absence. So, in short, it now requires level 40, Wiping no longer returns fireteams to orbit and now uses the 30-second timeout penalty for death. These changes to the Nightfall are very welcome in my eyes. I do agree that it's making the Nightfalls a little bit less difficult and not as much of a challenge as it once was. The fact that we no longer have to do it to get that experience and rep king bonus, though, is very welcome. I often have a full slot of bounties to turn in, but have to drag my feet through Omnigul yet again just to turn them in and get closer to that faction package. For the weekly heroic strikes, they've removed the dedicated weekly heroic strike from the game. In its place, they've put in a new playlist, the Vanguard Heroic Playlist. Each week, players receive bonus legendary marks from the weekly heroic playlist. These awards are received at the account level rather than the character level. They made this change to enable players to focus on a singular character more or feel less pressure to gear 3 characters out for legendary marks. So, in short, this is a welcome change since this gives us an outlet for consistent legendary marks and engrams. So they've also changed up the weekly PvP rituals. They say the Nightfall was built as a ritual experience for groups of 3 players in PvE, and in Year 1 they didn't have a good weekly ritual experience for PvP players. Once players have completed PvP intro chain on Lord Shaxx, they receive access to the weekly PvP quests on Lord Shaxx and the PvP Quartermaster. Each week Lord Shaxx has a bounty called the True Meaning of War. Completing this bounty each week, which requires completing the PvP weekly bounties, grants players Nightfall tier rewards, and this is fantastic. For those of us that just enjoy PvP and only PvP, we do not feel pressured into doing PvE activities just for the rewards. There's also some changes coming to the daily heroic and daily PvP, so they increased their rewards and made them an account completion. Finally, there's an update on 2.0, which marks the beginning of Destiny Year 2. There is a big FAQ section here from the Destiny support team, so go read that if you have any questions about PS3 to PS4 or Xbox 360, anything you have questions on, they have a help section just for you. The update will be coming on September 8th. I will repeat that. Patch 2.0 is scheduled to drop September 8th. You have 10 days to complete your moments of triumph. Get to it, Guardians. As a final note, they have not forgotten about the promise they made for those that purchased the Digital Collector's Edition and already own Destiny and both expansion packs. They are going to give you some stuff that won't be available right at launch, and again, they're having to be vague here. Maybe it's a patch for the next DLC, who really knows at this point. It could be some unique in-game items as well. Anyway guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful. As always, you can read up on this weekly update at our website or at Bungie's website as well. I'm interested in hearing your take on all these new changes in the comments. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.